but the only task I could use help with might be a bit too delicate for you to handle. Unless you're a master goldsmith, then feel free to prove it, and I'll have work for you immediately. There's just not enough of them to go around, and now that we're on lockdown, there's not much demand for my services either. Listen, I said I don't have any jobs, as in things I pay you for doing. That doesn't mean I can't teach you a thing or two. If you're willing to learn, that is. Since you're free to wander about while I'm stuck in the keep, maybe we can make good use of that. You've probably bashed in the skull of a beast or two, right? The alchemists. They're likely snatching up the corpses, using the muck to cook their weird concoctions. But perhaps you'd rather craft yourself some armor from those hides, huh? We should start with something simple. Let's see. I'll give you some notes on how to make armor. You gather the materials and get to work. And when you're done, you can bring it over so I can see what you've made. Always a pleasure to see you. Sometimes it's nice to just sit and think. Are you hiding from someone?
You? Ah, shit. Another mouth to feed. Teargas must have been off his rocker if he thinks I can feed everyone with the little he gives me. I'm serious. If we don't open the keep soon, we'll have to start eating rats. Not that I can't cook them in a way that makes you think it's chicken. It's a good thing you didn't start with calm down, or I'd have shoved my cleaver up your arse. Yeah, I'm pissed off. Because our gracious sovereigns recently decided to let in a bunch of refugees from the villages. They say they're running from the weirdness, but who knows, really? So now I have even more hungry mouths to feed. And since the captain ordered the letdown of our keep, the supplies are dwindling a lot faster than I'd like. Of course, I can make you 1,000 different dishes based on fish and grouts. But come on, even the keepers need some variety in their lives. Well, well, an adventurer, are you? Ah, I'm good for now. But if you find something interesting, you can drop it off here. And, as a sign of goodwill, I'll allow you free reign of my kitchen. If you need to cook something, go ahead. Oh, this is new. Maybe we'll get along after all. The dimwits here never want to learn, only eat. Ah, Owen. Yes, he's my best friend. We don't even need words. Heck no. You should have seen Owen 20 years ago. He was sharp as a pin and could get anything done. If you wanted something, you went to Owen, and he always found a way to help you. Politics. What else? Owen survived 3 captains. One was terribly lazy. He just sat there like moss on a log and did jack shit. That frustrated Owen. Then there was another one. He was afraid of everything. So all he did was kiss Camelot's ass. And that blocked Owen's ideas to do something meaningful with his fish shack. And when it was finally Brandon's turn, Owen was already fed up with all this. It's funny, isn't it? First captain who doesn't mind introducing new ideas, and our local revolutionary has given up already. So now he just putters around in his little garden trying to find some peace in the twilight of his life.
Oh, you're trying to piss me off, aren't you? If you don't like my food, then get lost. Go to Ron's Tavern and stop wasting my time. In the fishing village. That's where the guards retired to sit on their asses and fart. Or sit, fart, and drink themselves into a stupor. Hell no. I'd rather stay useful here and drop dead at my stove than waste space over there. If someone's still fit to work but chooses to laze around all day instead, they should be kicked out. Not rewarded with free beer.
What do you need? This is a prison, not a museum. We don't admire here. We punish. At least, that's what they tell me to say. I'm supposed to be intimidating. Grrr. So the prisoners are scared of me. Usually, it's nothing but interesting folks. I'm telling you, in these crazy times, every one of them comes in with some wild tale. But right now, quiet as can be. Good thing I've got my books. All my adventures are in there these days. Because I asked for this post. Just to get some peace, quiet, and warmth. No useless small talk. No shrieking seagulls, and none of that cursed biting wind. I'm telling you, it's heaven. And I get to read my books, too. So if you've got anything interesting, I'd be glad to trade.
Who are you? What do you want? I don't recognize your face. I am. They told me it's for my safety, and the safety of others. I don't like it. The keep is supposed to be my home, and yet here I am, locked in a damn jail. That cursed madman from the refugee group bit me. I think his name is Cole. The boys told me he's locked up in a cage now. Good. That's the proper place for animals like him. By the All-Mother, if I'd known he was carrying some foul disease, I wouldn't have gone near them. He's just mad. I told the others the group of refugees would bring no good here. And as you can see, I wasn't wrong. Cursed bastards. Damned if I know. Whenever I've had a fever or cold before, I could always explain it. But this, I can't find the words. Sometimes it feels like I'm fading away. Like the part of me that makes me who I am is disappearing. I don't know how to describe it. And there's a voice at times. It calls to me. Each night it draws nearer. Like a dreadful howl. Not at all human, that's for sure. At times, I hear our words within it. But more often, it's like a noise from deep within the bowels of the earth. Like something very wicked. The medic and that red priest both came to see me. Both shrugged, offering no cure. Heber says I should wait. But if you've got anything stronger to drink, I wouldn't say no. It might ease the pain. Even just for a little. Thanks. That's really nice of you. Hold fast. and steer clear of those strangers.
So, did you bring me something to drink? I knew it, my friend. I knew we could get along. Oh, delicious. You're the best, you know. Ah.
Welcome to the Museum of the Horns of the South, the southernmost keep under Camelot's jurisdiction. My name is Ridderick, and I will be happy to introduce you to the rich history of this fascinating place. A history that began 623 years ago with the first keeper, Sewell Firstfoot. I'd also like to bring your attention to our numerous exhibits that are, as I like to say, inanimate witnesses of the history of the Horns of the South. It began in the year 542. It is the crowning achievement of a group of keepers who were fascinated with Sewell Firstfoot. It took them years of tremendous effort to finally open an institution devoted to research and education, worthy of commemorating Sewell's great legacy. The first keeper of the museum was Gladwin Flanagan, who was personally appointed by Captain Berach the Black. I don't doubt it, since Sewell Firstfoot was a remarkable figure, well known to every keeper. Drawing on available sources, we can claim with almost absolute certainty that Sewell Firstfoot was the first man who ever set foot on the island of Avalon. As you can probably guess, that's where his moniker, Firstfoot, comes from. Oh, of course. Sewell was an outstanding commander whose strategic mind, bravery, and charisma contributed to our capture of the South from the Four Dwellers. He was also the founder of the Horns of the South, so I can say with absolute conviction that if it were not for Sewell Firstfoot, we wouldn't even be standing here having this conversation. The museum holds a collection of 72 items of the so-called movable, tangible heritage. The collection includes big and small items that represent the world surrounding the keepers of the Horns of the South from the 1st to the 6th century of the Avalonian era. Here you will find militaria, craft tools, everyday objects, furniture, textiles, coins, religious artifacts. I'd say all exhibits are worthy of your attention, but I could point you to the ones I personally think to be the most notable, or subjectively, of course, the most interesting. Those would be the items that used to belong to Sewell Firstfoot. We have his signal horn, and also his boots. Those boots were the first to touch Avalonian soil. What is also worth mentioning is the tableware used by King Arthur himself during his visit to the Horns of the South in the 15th year of the Avalonian era. Yes, remarkable, isn't it? You can find them in the central display. Sewell's boots were sewn from 3 pieces of tanned calfskin, tied at the top with a leather strap. The seam goes through the middle of the instep, which is decorated with ornamental embroidery. On the outer side of each shoe, you can find a decorative brass buckle with the motif of the Camelotian bear. It is notable that even after 600 years, they are still excellently preserved, which is unusual considering the high humidity in this area. It means that even the keepers of that time must have realized the historical value of Sewell's boots, and therefore made sure to adequately preserve them. It is indeed an interesting exhibit. The horn was used by Sewell during wartime, not only for signaling, but also for intimidation. It is 50 centimeters long and made of the horn of an ox. It is the color of yellowed bone, with some ash-gray discoloration on the narrow end. It has a brass mouthpiece and silver fittings on its wider side and at the middle. The shape of the fittings suggests that the horn was hanging on a leather strap, which unfortunately has not survived to this day. It's a memento of the visit of the legendary ruler of Avalon. Impressive, isn't it? The tableware is made of tin coated with silver. It consists of a plate, a bowl, and a chalice. The edges are decorated with the motifs of Camelot, a crown and a bear. However, those ornaments are of visibly low quality. That detail, and the fact that those are the only wares from that time that have survived to this day, leads us to conclude that this set was cast specifically for that occasion, and that it was finished by a person unfamiliar with this kind of craft, perhaps a blacksmith or an armorer. Really? Do you mean it? Thank you. That's really nice to hear. I'm not used to positive feedback. Usually people only come here when they've had too much to drink and decided that it'd be fun to come over and start mocking me, or touching the exhibits with their greasy fingers. The last person who seemed to actually be interested in the museum was Lady Elaine. We talked a bit about Captain Lex and the trip that ended tragically in the year 513. It was described in The Last Voyage of the Andraste. An interesting read, although I'd say it should be classified as fiction. Lady Elaine thought differently. Apparently she's looking for the wreck of the Andraste. Can you believe that? Definitely. Personally, I believe that people gifted with curious minds should share their observations, for there's always a chance it will result in new developments. You should find Lady Elaine in the tavern, or somewhere close to it. Good luck.